When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
America says it spreads democracy, but 30 years ago it helped destroy Europe's only democracy. He was elected, popular reprimanded, and then he was gone. This was Operation Ajax, a covert operation led by the United States and Britain to overthrow Iran's government. So here is the question. If the US stands for democracy, why did it destroy war? At first glance, the story seems simple. Oil. Iran had it, Britain controlled it, and more and Mercedes wanted it back. In 1951, he nationalized Iran's oil industry. To many Iranians, this was justice. But to Western powers, it was a threat. But here the West is get more interesting. The real issue wasn't just who owned the oil, it was who get the money. Every leader, president, king, or dictator faces the same problem. How do you stay in power? Political scientists call this the winning coalition. That's a group of people you must keep happy to stay in charge. Coalition is large, but in a democracy, you need to spread the resources widely. Public services, jobs, stability. But if your coalition is small, you only need to reward a few key people. Orthodox plan means sharing oil wealth with the Iran public. A big coalition had to control expensive demand. But there was another option. Muhammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. The Shah didn't need millions of supporters. They only needed a small circle, the military, and the foreign backing. For outside powers, that's much easier. You don't have to convince an entire nation. You just have to secure a few loyal allies. In 1953, the US and Britain acted. The Operation Ajax. They funded the protests, spread the propaganda, and worked with military insiders. The goal wasn't the chaos, it was a control. Mossadegh was removed. The Shah returned with absolute power. Under the Shah, Iran became stable, at least on the surface. Oil fraud, foreign interests were protected, and the region led on a small territorially controlled coalition. But stable comes at a cost. Political repression, secret police, silence the opposition. From a moral perspective, it looks like a betrayal of democracy. But from a strategic perspective, it follows a clear logic. A government that depends on millions is unpredictable. A government that depends on a few is manageable. It wasn't a one-time decision. During the Cold War, the same logic appeared again and again. Even leaders like Saddam Hussein was once seen as a useful partner. At the time, he pleaded caution, democracy, then control and predictable behavior. But analysis like this are temporary, because the math can change. Once a leader stops serving threats or become too independent, they are no longer part of your winning coalition. And when that happens, years or days later quickly become its enemy. So when modern leaders say they support a democracy, what do they really mean? Is it about freedom, values, or something more practical? Because history suggests something uncomfortable. Democracy isn't always chosen because it's morally right, and the dictatorship isn't always supported because it's evil. Sometimes it's just about how resources are distributed. A large coalition means power is shared. A small coalition means power is concentrated. And in global politics, the question isn't just who votes,